Good morning. The universe wanted me to come on here this morning and say that it's very difficult to get up and make these videos, especially after yesterday, which was a particularly hard day for different reasons. But when my mind comes under siege all the time as well, for example, yesterday morning it said like, "Oh, why don't you, do a course?" And it inspires me in a certain way by showing me certain videos. The likes of Dan Penna, which I then went on to look at a few more of Dan Penna's videos, and he does the QLA, the high performance training and seminars, and that would be to inspire people to act in a certain way and become fearless and become high performers. And it's 20,000 euro for his course. Now, Now, personally, I find that sort of motivation the greatest load of shite, because really all you're selling is a delusion that, for example, you get all these people, and he says, "Oh, you have all these excuses, you have all these excuses, you have all these excuses. I'm not Dan, I'm not Dan." And a small percentage of them will pick something from that course and be inspired by Dan. But it's very much a matter of your nature, This is where nature comes into it. Like, how fucking resilient are you by nature? Like, like a honey badger or a wild horse is extremely resilient. And some horses are harder to break than others because they have a much higher spirit and they're just a lot more resilient. And some horses don't get broken at all, they can't be broken. And I'd like to think I'm one of those horses that can't be broken. But that's not just nature, that's from life as well. That's just being a resilient bastard all your life. That when you set your mind to something, you don't fucking let go. That can't really be taught. And you can buy all your stupid self-help books and everything else, but they can't be taught. Well, some of it can, I suppose. Because I remember I read I read about a total of about 6 to 10 books in my life, but 6 of them I remember very well, and 2 of them were How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis, who's a publisher, and Rambo First Blood. And both of them were quite significant books and had a big impact on my life. Rambo First Blood was really one man's fight against a whole community, a whole society, which turned on him, trying to push him out of town. And he was just too resilient to move out, so he burned the whole town. He burned the whole town to the ground. He killed everyone and burned the whole town to the ground. But he died in the end of Rambo First Blood in the book. He didn't die in the end of Rambo First Blood in the film, but he died in Rambo First Blood in the book. But it was worth it. It was worth it just to stand up and fight and not be pushed So I suppose some books like that can be inspiring to a person of a certain nature. Because I often reflect on Rambo First Blood, to be honest, and Felix Dennis. But the thing with Felix Dennis, I learned an awful lot from Felix Dennis. I learned about delegation. I learned about how to overcome certain adversities. Like, for example, I remember one time I needed 10 grand, and I drove up to Dublin Airport. And at that time in Dublin Airport, they were giving out credit cards to everybody who got a flight, Like if you're flying somewhere, this was around, 2004, 2003, 2004. And they were giving out credit cards, and you just sign up for this credit card if you're going on a flight somewhere. Well, I signed up for about fucking a heap of credit cards, enough to get 10 grand anyway, and I cleaned out every one of them to the max limit. They all had about a 2 grand limit on them. But no great, they were giving out credit at this time. They were building up the whole fucking credit bubble, you know what I mean? Inflate and destroy it, and then destroy everybody, and you saw what they did. They just took all your shit. It was just a way of inflating and crashing the market to their advantage. But at the time it worked to my advantage because I needed 10 grand. So I went up and I signed up for a whole heap of credit cards, because there was several different stands all say, "Oh, would you like to sign up for the MasterCard or Gold card or Red card or Platinum card, or for different companies," but they all were vying to take advantage of this whole Everybody building up a credit, everybody building up credit, everybody building up credit. This was the Celtic Tiger, but was largely financed on credit. Uh, yeah, but that's what I learned that from Felix Dennis. To be resilient enough to overcome anything that you really wanted it, you fight on your back. If you really want something, you fight on your back. You can't be fucking uh, broken. You never give up. You just, this is pure resilience, you know. And this I learned, well, yeah, all these little tricks I learned in How to Get Rich. But it was like everything, and why I like this How to Get Rich book by Felix Dennis, it wasn't your usual bullshit. It was actually his life. It was actually little tricks he did. It was his life, but it wasn't this regurgitated shite that I see them all pushing out. Uh, for example, like that uh, woman that was emailing me the other day, she's rolling out a fixed pattern business plan. You know, a fixed pattern business plan where you have your $9.99 product, and you get everybody's email address, and you get everybody's messenger, you contact everybody, and you give out your social media, and you give out free content on social media. Now, free content is shite. She doesn't know stoicism. She just regurgitating shite. But that's an example of a woman who's born in a silver spoon in her mouth, and she's trying to give her example as adversity, as leaving her high-paid job and going hiking around the world. And this is the extent of her adversity. But I nearly suggest that the woman does not know what adversity is. And this is the whole thing, that everybody thinks they're suffering. I remember one time I used to say at least things can't get any worse. And how wrong I fucking was. It got continuously worse. And even when I thought they were for example, even when I was sitting in the chair smoking joints, and I said to myself, well, at least things can't get any worse. And then I found myself homeless in Istanbul, and I said to myself, at that point I stopped saying things can't get any worse, and I started to actually enjoy it. And this is the point that you have to get to. You have to get to the point where you're actually enjoying it. And there's only one fucking way to do that, and that's fucking endure what you can endure, and take from the experience, like you know, you reach a point where you're not embarrassed to say to people, if they say you're going to the pub, and I say, no, I have no money. You have no money? How do you live? And this is, well, that's a fucking good question. but I'm still alive, and I'll tell you, I'm actually enjoying life. And but before I ever even got to this point, like, I learned resilience from doing business, like different business, like the lift installation business. That went relatively easy. The whole resilience came from that. Was when I came under pressure. No, but before that, yeah, I was going to say there was no resilience with the lift installation business, but Jesus, there was. Ooh, well, Jesus, there was. Well, Jesus, there was. Jesus, only have clicking with me now what resilience was to be learned from that. But yeah, I opened several businesses, but I remember one, for example, was the tanning shop. And I opened the tanning shop. It was a completely new concept. It was the first stand-up beds of its kind in town. So it was completely new concept. It was the first stand-up beds. Before, everyone used to go and buy a course. If they're going on holidays, to buy a course and to do a course. In other words, it only had a summertime sort of a thing. But I did a whole new concept where I had the whole town brown all year round. But I sat in that on my own. I opened on the 5th of November, and I hung balloons outside, and I advertised it was going to be open and everything else. And I thought I was going to be beating back people with a stick. There'd be that many people trying to come in. Not a sinner came to my door till March. I opened it in November, and there wasn't a sinner came into the end of March. Not a sinner. And I remember everybody, like, and I started spending money. I was working on the lifts at the time, and I was doing doors. There's 2 jobs to pay to keep this fucking thing open. Because, like, I was like, that's what I had to get the 10 grand on the credit cards for, because I underestimated the price of actually opening the fucking thing. And and it cost me over 150,000, and fucking I underestimated the cost, and that's what I needed the credit card money for, because I had to stay drawing money, and then when it was open I had to stay pumping money into it, and everybody telling me to stop, stop, it's over, stop. I said no. And that's why I did the doors and I did the lifts and I put every penny into it, and marketing. And even my accountant ringing me. I remember him ringing me one day, the accountant now ringing me and saying, Dave, I think you should put blinds in the window. You have to put blinds in the window because people won't come in when the windows are open, because I had the windows like that everybody could see in. I said, nobody wants to be seen like in there. Yeah, you may put blinds in the window. I'm telling you, put blinds in the window. I said, no, I'm already told to fuck off. I said, they're well able to sit down in Peter Marks with rollers in their fucking hair and be glad to be seen in it. They can come in and get a fucking tan, but I'm not making a seedy joint out of it by putting blinds in the window. Basically, I stuck to my principles, I stuck to my concept, and there was no fucking way I'd let go. I would not back down, despite everybody. And plus, when I was opening it, like, I had to remortgage the house to open it, and I had to remortgage the house to open it, and I had to, but I remember, like, even my girlfriend at the time, she used to ring me every night. Because I was working away, and she'd ring me and say, oh, what are you doing to us? You're going to have us out on the road, She used to be, I came under fierce pressure, but there was no way I'd back down. And in the last year I sold that, it turned over 300,000. And the same then with the gym, and the same then with the bouncer training. The same with the gym, I sat in my own for ages, new concept, men only training. And then the same with the bouncer training. At the bouncer training, 3 years I did at the bouncer training, and I would not stop. Relentlessly stayed going, even though I did not receive one bit of support, or not even one useless bastard joined my union, despite the point that there was really shit all over. And I told him, you're being shit all over, you're just being abused, you're just being exploited, which they were, because they just got shirt fillers to do the fucking jobs and just exploit the shit out of them. Like it was just, I'm not going into it now, but they were just exploiting the shit out of them. And I wanted to bring an end to that. But I believed in the cause, and I believed in what I was doing, and it wasn't about the money. I drove miles and miles to train people, like one person. So I had to pay for the hotel room, I had to pay for me petrol down, I had to pay for me whole fucking everything. But I used to fund this on my dole. I remember, like, they used to even bring me in on the dole, and they used to say to me, how are you getting on for getting a job, because I was on social welfare, like 200 quid a week. And you say, how are you getting on looking for a job? I say, I have a job. They say, you have a job? Well, what are you doing in social welfare, like? So I used to bring in the folder in what I was doing, and you say, here, this is my job, I'm working on this. And they say, yeah, but are you making any money? I said, no. I said, have you made any money? I said, I haven't made 50 cents. And they said, well, then would you not just stop and get a job? And I said, no, I won't stop and get a job. I have a job. I'm creating my own job. I'm doing something for that needs to be done. I'm doing something that I feel is right. I'm doing something I believe is necessary. I have a job. This is my job. I said, now you can take my fucking dole and put me out of business if that's what you want to do. I said, but that's a little bit contradictory to I said, I'm fucking doing something here. Like, there's no point in forcing me to go and work for somebody else. I said, I'm doing something. And despite the fact that they turned me down for a grant for it, all sorts of adversity, I stayed going. And I'd be still going at that if the first words my soul said to me was, my mother said I should come and talk to you. And if it hadn't came and talked to me, I'd be still doing that, because I just refused to give up. So when it comes to this morning, like, I had a hard day yesterday, and the universe wanted me to come on here and tell you how hard it is to make these videos and to stay making these videos. I'll tell you now, it's not. It's not a bit hard. I enjoy making these videos. I love making these videos. And what I'm actually doing, if you want to put it in easier words for you, this is a revolution. And in order for this revolution to work, I have to change the way people think. And this is the best way I can possibly do that. In the art of war, rule number 1 in the art of war is use your enemy's dynamic against them. I am using this social media, I am using their dynamic, their platforms against them. to change the way that people think. And I couldn't really give a fuck about likes or even about money or anything else because I will just stay going and stay going and stay going and stay going until this breaks. Good morning.